Some celebs pull up loco. You know we up next, pull up mofos. They don't see, they on repeat, they like, oh no. Where's the mix it up, let's take a photo now. Photo now, photo now, photo now. But for now, I'm loco. For now, I preserve the beat, I'm more loud. I said I'm more loud, I'm more loud.
Man, big up yourself, big up the whole Metric community. Smash the likes on the way in, man. You know we're always here daily. Little update with what's going on with United. We're always here, man. It's never going to stop. So smash the likes, my peoples, man. Let's get these likes up at least. As soon as you come straight in, we're going to get into it. There's loads of news going on, of course. Stuff about the club in general, transfers, managers, even the Villa. I think Carrick's come out and said a few things about it. So we're going to get into it, man. We start off with this. Look at this. So this is the implications Man United faced for not qualifying in the Champions League. This is how big it is for the club. It's a massive thing. The absence cost the UEFA prize money and roughly 5 million in additional match day revenue. Remember, we get 100 million just for being in the Champions League. That's the money that you get from UEFA. And Tottenham got that 100 million, bought Kudus for 55, tried to put another 60 on Morgan Gibbs-White. That flopped, and they bought Osihmen. So that was their money spent from basically nothing. So we miss out on that 100 million. And to be honest, some people say it's a blessing that we missed that this year, because we probably would have got Delap. We probably might have even got Gyökeres. It might have been a different transfer window. But it is where it is. Obviously, if they had reached the quarterfinals, as Villa did last term, they could have gained the extra 30 million from 6 home games alone. Remember, every time you've got a game, you got to remember, home games, you're getting the match day tickets, you're selling the food, everything that's coming with it is crazy. The merchandise, people are buying the kit, the match day programs, so many money that you make just for people every time you got a home game. So mostly, even when you see FA Cup and you get drawn at home, they're happy because that's another game that you're going. Even if you was to lose, you're still getting money from it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it is where it is. So that's something that we looked at that we will miss out on if we don't get it again. So it's a big thing. We go out there and we get Champions League, man. They faced a 10 million deduction in their 90 million a year Adidas shirt sponsor deal to non-qualification. So 10 million we had to pay because we wasn't in Champions League for 2 years in the bounce. And remember, these little things, when it might be small, but when other sponsors start looking at it, they say, we don't want that to do with you lot because you lot might not be in Champions League again. And that's what's happening now with the training top. We still haven't got a sponsor for the training top. Now we got no sponsor for the training top. How a big team like Man United hasn't got a training top sponsor? It doesn't even make any sense. So that's what we're dealing with. And that's the things from this. And if you look at it, Spurs are dealing with the same thing. Because they're so shit, they're looking at them and going, nah, we don't want to play over there. Playing and coaching staff salaries are reduced by 25% without Champions League football, saving the club annually 78 million. But this does not fully offset the lost revenue streams. So basically, everyone's money, when you're not in Champions League, gets cut by 25%. Everyone's money. But then again, it gets cut by 25% because you're not on TV. You're not getting all of that money, being on TV. All the other money that comes in that you're losing out on not being in Champions League, all the home games, all the publication, it's not happening. So the club has a 313 wage bill and a 422 in outstanding transfer payments, 238 due by the end of the next season. Making a return to the Champions League will kind of stabilize it a little bit better. So we need to get in the Champions League. We're in a good position now. We've basically got 1 foot in. If you look at the table, and I'm even going to show you, look, remember, I always come here and I show you, look, the race. It's filling up, bro, where we have to get that spot there. We got Chelsea with us. We got Aston Villa. We've got Liverpool. You just don't know what's going to happen. I can see Liverpool. I can see Spurs trying to do a little something at Liverpool. A little something. Not nothing major, but a little something over there. But that is obviously how it goes at. Obviously, the top game is what just happened. I've got to take that off. I haven't been able to. The top game, forget about it. It's about the second game. Man United, Villa, Chelsea got Newcastle, and Liverpool got Spurs. So we should get Champions League. Champions League changes everything. Our targets, everything. Even every single one of them, you can see Anderson's, Beliebers, all of them, like, apart from Belieber, the rest of them, it's like we have to kind of get Champions League to even be in the running to be able to sign any of them anyway. So this is what's going on, my peoples, man. We've got a lot going on, and a lot has come out and said whatever. Sir Jim came out the other day and said this. He said that next season we'll do something that will set this fan base on fire. What does he mean by that? He can only be talking about players, etc. Why would the fan base be on fire unless we get gassed up by the players that we buy? So we have to get Champions League. That's how big it is, or big of a thing it is, that we have to get Champions League, bro. All these Andersons, all of these Whartons, all these Yandy Amandes, everyone that we get linked with, Tonali's, he wants to leave Newcastle for Champions League. He ain't going to leave Newcastle, that's battling in 12, to go and play with us to play Europa League. That's not going to happen. So we'll see what happens, my peoples, man. But we need to. Champions League is a massive thing, like I've just showed you lot. It's a crazy thing. Yeah, so we'll see, man. We'll see what happens, man. Let's get on to the more news now. So that's what Sir Jim said. A lot of people are starting to think he was talking about this. Look, next season we'll do something that will set the fan base on fire. He's over-exaggerating, of course. He's saying that he's going to get Enrique, Anderson, Vinny Jr., and Nuno Mendes. I don't think it's that deep. I think he's just going to go mad in the transfer window where we're going to break the record. Remember, our record is only 89 million with Paul Pogba. We've never had a record more than that. So if you get one of these players in this age, Andersons and that, they're probably going to be 95, 90 million or whatever like that. So who knows, man? We'll see. We move on to that. This came out yesterday as well. Andy Mitten, he put something out there basically saying, listen, people didn't know this, but Thiago Motta, before Ruben Amorim got the job, was being put forward to United as the next best thing. So, boy, no one knew what was going on at the time, but nobody got any wind of this. But Man United took him really, really serious. Well, every single team, when you're going out there to get a manager, you've always got 2-3 candidates. It's the same as players. We're going to have Diamande as a left winger, Njai, etc. If we get Diamande, of course, you can make a story 6 months later and say Man United was really considering Njai. Of course we was, because we got a list. So Ruben Amorim was on that list, and so was Motta. If Ruben Amorim said, no, I'm not leaving now, it's too early, etc., it would have probably been Motta on the spot. But Motta was having his time. He just left Bologna. He was doing his thing over there, as you can see. 43 years old, part of the young coaches coming up. He had a little time at PSG, was at under 19s. Genoa, he lost more games than he won. Same thing with Spezia. But then he went to Bologna and switched it up. And that's where he got his name up. His rep was cold. He went to Juventus. He didn't really last. He ended up getting sacked, as you can see, from June to March. So he didn't even get to see out the whole season. 8 losses, 16 draws, 18 wins. They were drawing like every game. Every other game they would draw. So Motta, he had a little time where he was flavour of the month, which was the Bologna time. And that's why we got Zirkzee. We got Zirkzee because of Motta. Do you understand? Because he got him playing football over them. He said, yo, let's go and get the skeezer. And then bam. So he would have been the guy that we would have basically went and got. He's an okay manager, but he's nothing special. And he's still a free agent. So he ain't had a job since, what, March 2025. And it's 2026 March now. So literally a whole year, no one ain't even coming for him. No one ain't called. And you got all these people getting sacked. Tottenham's lost the manager. We lost the manager. We could have came in for him. He's a free agent. We don't need to pay him nothing. We've turned around and said, nah, we want a world-class one now that can handle the pressure. So it is where it is. It's just a story that to let you lot know what's been going on, basically. Andy Mitten is reliable. And it is like, why would you come and tell us this now, though? Why didn't you tell us a bit earlier when Ruben got sacked straight away? But he took his time and he's come out of it. And he does say a few stuff that does make sense. So it is where it is. Fabrizio Romano, you know his thing. He keeps coming out here and doing little segments. He's bored. He has to do something on YouTube. So he has to come and talk about something. You know, there's the other ones that don't really have to come and talk about any segments. They just come, drop their bomb and go missing. Ornstein drops his bomb, see you later. We don't see him again. Romano, he comes out every week and speaks. And he speaks about Balde. Alejandro Balde, he's obviously from Barcelona. And he's just saying that, listen, we are interested in him, but Barcelona are looking at him and saying, nah, he's untouchable. He ain't going nowhere. And that's basically come from these little talks. Man United want to sign Balde. This is on March the 7th. 34.6 million or a swap with Rashford. This came out on February the 17th. Same thing, 35 million. So there's been little reports about us and Balde. We're monitoring him, scouting him, etc. But they're not on it. They're saying, bruv, no way. Like, he's seen as one of our main players. There's no way we're letting him go to there. We'll sign Rashford for the money that we need to sign him, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So we'll see what happens, man. There's these talks about the boy Agumi. So this is Sean Connolly. Sean Connolly's 30. And he's come out and he spoke about Agumi. So listen, Vivell has long identified Agumi as a prime target to strengthen the midfield this summer. Vivell has kept Agumi on the shortlist since at least 2025, viewing him as an ideal destroyer. The only thing that's a bit mad with me with this Agumi guy, yeah, is that he looks slow on a comp. You know, comps, you're meant to be your best. If you go watch Diego Dallo right now, a comp, he's going to be his best. All of his best crosses. Every time he's took someone on, his best tackles. They show you everything that the player's done as their best. Watching Agumi, he's very slow. I don't understand it. And that's his comp. His comp, he looks slow. So if this is the best that they're showing you, obviously, I don't really go off comps because, like I said, it's always your best bits. But if this is your best bits and you look that slow, what are you going to look in the Prem? And that's La Liga. La Liga is a slow league anyway. You got 35, 36-year-old defenders. Everyone's got time. Anthony spinning around 100 times over there. It's normal. So I don't know about this geezer too much. But he's only 30 million euros. Same price as Rashford, 26 million pounds. So I reckon he's on the list for potential like a third midfielder. And look at this. Sean Connolly came out again last night, 11 past 7, and said, Man United's interest in Lucien Agumi is real. Because this came out from bare little Equicona and talks, what was it, what they called? Team talk, court offside. He said, no. This stuff is real stuff. Man United are in for him. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, man, I just... From what I've seen about this geezer, he looks a bit slow. I'm starting to think that maybe we do get him, but it's like a Ugarte type of replacement. So we go there, we got our main midfielder. Let's say it's Belieber for Casemiro's role. Then we go get someone that's going to compete with Mainoo, Wharton. You spent about 150 on both of them, 70 each or 140, whatever. And then a Ugarte goes, then you replace Ugarte with like an Agumi. That makes sense. He's better than Ugarte, but I don't think he comes and changes anything. So that's what Sean Connolly said, who is 30, but the Athletic, who is Ornstein, Laurie Whitwell, them man are 30. Official. They're way more official than Sean Connolly, and they have let it be known as well. Man United are looking to sign a defensive-minded midfielder who can complement Mainoo, as well as a young midfielder that will play with him. So this is someone that's going to play with Mainoo and someone that's going to play for Mainoo. So it could be a Wharton and Mainoo are taking turns coming off the bench. 1 minute, someone doing 60, 1 minute, someone doing 30, or the next game, we could be playing a team that's come from the Championship. They're just going to sit back and we say, you know what, we don't even need Belieber for that game. Just put Mainoo and Wharton on because we were trying to go at it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they can play together and they can play for each other, if you know what I'm trying to say. They can take each other's spot. So we'll see what happens, but that's what's going on with this. So this is the Athletic just saying, for the defensive-minded player, for the club has identified Lucien Agumi and Belieber. So that just solidified the Agumi talks that we are in for him. Athletic, Sean Connolly is solidified. But I don't know. I think he's like a third, because he's so cheap. We would have went for him by now. He's 30 million euros. I feel like we would have went for him long time ago. Look at that. Look at that. 30 million euros. That's the price for him. That's the same price as Rashford, which is 26 million pounds. We would have went for him in the midfield in the summer. We would have said, yeah, we got our guy already. That's why I feel like he's another option. It's like, you know what? Let's get our main ones first. If they act up, then we go and get someone like Agumi. So we'll see what happens, man. But obviously it's coming out that the interest is solidified. That's what I'm trying to say. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We had these talks yesterday as well about Robinson. Man United and Aston Villa are both weighing up a move for Robinson, 25 million. Fulham are looking to sell him. He's about 28 years old. So I don't know. Ineos are a bit weird, isn't it, when it comes to their players. I don't think we go for players that are like 28. I think when we went for De Ligt and Mazraoui, there was about 26. Do you know what I'm saying? Mazraoui, maybe that. But Robinson's 28 years old. He's got a contract till 2028. He's a good left back. Obviously, this season he's been injured for a lot of it, and he's been coming off the bench. He's got no goals, no assists, but you know what type of player you're going to get from him. You put him in a team like Man United, and he's defending a lot at Fulham as well. You put him in a team like Man United where you're bombing forward a bit more, you'll see how dilly he is. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So He's an option, man. 25 million. I think they cut that to about 20. They could probably do a deal. And then you got Anthony Robinson and Dorg, who going band for band on the left back situation. Dorg, who can also play right back. Dorg, who can play left winger. It's so much different. You know what I'm saying? Luke Shaw can be the third guy. Just let him run out his contract and then leave. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to rely on Luke Shaw every single game as we're doing now. So we'll see. But it's us and Aston Villa. Aston Villa are looking at him as well. But I thought Aston Villa was okay when it came to left backs. They've got Matson, they've got Digne. So I don't know. Aston Villa, let me see what left backs they've got over there. They've got this guy's on loan, Osihmen. Look at that. They've got Digne and they got Matson. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. But maybe they're trying to build up as well. But he's a good player, man. I don't really mind him, man. I will take him at Man United. I'll be real. I will take him at United. If he came, I'll be happy. I'll be calm. Luke Shaw, your time's coming up, buddy. Please, just call it quits. Yeah? Like, your time's coming up. So we have to get someone else in that position. I think we need to strengthen the right side, if anything, as well. Mazarawi's a bit, he can get injured a 1-2 game or something. Dalot, we know he's not good enough. It just goes without saying. So we'll see. Ekram Kona spoke about the boy Bradley Barcola. He's emerged as a standout option. So remember, we got this little list of all the left wingers. It keeps coming out. Every day, someone keeps speaking us and reminding us about these left wingers. Yeah, we're going to go for a left winger. Ornstein said we're going to go for a left winger. Fabrizio, Ben Jacob, they've all came out. This little list came out the other day by Sport. Yan Diamande, Barcola, Njai, Jesus Rodriguez. I don't know him, but he plays for Como. Marshall Goddo. I remember his face from Fulham. I ain't watched him at Strasbourg. But it seems like Njai and Yan Diamande seems like the main guy, I'll be real. And then it's probably going to be like Njai. And then probably Barcola. I think they'll probably try and keep it Premier League proven. But we'll see what happens, man. But Barcola's a good player. I always just say for him, it's the final third, bro. Like, I just see him miss a lot of chances, etc. But if he gets into it and he works on that final third, he'll be a serious player. So it is where it is. And look at this, Fabrizio Romano. When we get back to the left winger stuff, Fabrizio Romano came out 23 hours ago and said this: Man United scouts were in attendance for Leipzig game against Augsburg on Saturday to follow Yan Diamande. We are obsessed with this geezer. He is our #1 target. Like, there's no other man that we've scouted so much. Man United expected to have a huge summer in the midfield, but signing a left winger is also on the agenda. Man United continue to scout Yan Diamande, showing real interest, though several options are being assessed before the summer. Bro, it can only be him. The amount of times we have scouted this guy this season alone is crazy. Like, literally, it's getting boring. I don't even want to put him on a thumbnail no more. Look, we're getting news about him, and I don't even put him in a thumbnail. What is the point? It's every single day we're hearing something about this geezer. Look at that, 23 hours ago. 8th of March, 6th of March, 5th of March, 5th of March, 4th of March, 3rd of March. Bro, 2nd of March. It's all Man United. It's all Diamande or Liverpool. Man United, Liverpool, Diamande. Tottenham was in it, but Tottenham with their relegation stuff, and they will never, ever get a player over us anyway. Let's be real. So everything. Ben Jacob said this on February the 6th. It's out of Man United really like Anthony Gordon as well. And because he can play as a #9, it's another option. But, bro, Fabrizio's come out yesterday. It basically comes out every single day. Something about him. We continue to scout him. We're showing real interest. It's more or less every day. And even Sully came out and said something as well about Diamande. What did he say? I think he replied back to someone or something. Yeah, so look at this. The boy Sully, someone obviously said, feels like Diamande is one of our primary targets for next summer. Because obviously Man United were scouting him. And Sully's come out and said, high on the list for sure. So even Sully, who is certified, comes here, drops the news, keeps it moving. He's not on this wishy-washy speaking, trying to get clicks. No, he just comes, drops news, keeps it moving. Don't do no videos. No one even knows who he is. He don't want to be famous. I'll just tell you what's going on and cut. He said, yep, he's high on the list for sure. So, boy, Diamande seems like the guy, man. Man just got to see what happens with Liverpool, man. If Liverpool end up sweeping him or not. Obviously, he said he was a Liverpool fan, but apparently it was his dad, sorry. He set the record straight and said, yo, my dad is a Liverpool fan first and foremost. So I don't know what's going on with him. No one knows. But it's not 100% we get him. Yeah, him and Ahmad, are from the same country and they got a little connection. They're taking pictures together and they're rolling heavy, but that doesn't say 100% that we will get him through the line. So we'll see. But as you can see from that alone, this helps us move on to the next section. And I'll get these comments in a minute, my people. Smash the likes. Make sure you're smashing these likes. Man United expected to have a huge summer in midfield. Remember that when it midfield as well. Midfield is meant to be a huge summer because, bro, you lot know already who we're linked with. The Whartons, the Believers, now with Goomies in there, and then we can go straight into this. 41 minutes ago, this just came out. 41 minutes ago, Man United officials have confirmed that Tonali is high on their list as a player to help rebuild the midfield. His signing will cost around £90 million, and the player could be open to a move depending on Man United's European qualifications. I want you lot to look at the title of the video, guys. When you go into the thumbnail, Champions League means everything. With all of these players, every player we're looking at is so certain now that Champions League means everything. Because Tonali wants European qualification. Anderson wants European qualification. Wharton wants European qualification. Bruno Fernandes to stay, European qualification. We're linked with Osihmen now, European qualification. Majority of these managers that we're looking at, you think they're going to come to want to do 1 year to get us into Champions League? Some of them will turn around and go, nah, but that's long. But them knowing we're in Champions League off the rip, they might be on some, all right, you know what, cool. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So as you can see, just look at the last line. Manchester United's European qualification. We need to get European qualification to be able to even get Tonali to even have a conversation with us. And that goes on to show this. Man United have to qualify for the Champions League if they have any chance to sign Elliot Anderson or Adam Wharton. The Champions League means everything. It's on the thumbnail for a reason. Anderson is of interest to United, but well-placed sources say they would not be able to compete with front-runners Manchester City on Anderson's salary unless they're back in the Champions League. They give out mad salaries over there. Guy's gone over there on 300k. Haaland's on 500k. They don't care. And because they're in Champions League every year, they can afford to. Do you know what I'm trying to say? The revenues come in, everything happens. They get the money up top, they're cool. So we need to be in Champions League. It means everything. Wharton's already playing Europe. He's in conference at the moment. He's probably got a game on Thursday. Same as Anderson. He's in Europe. He's in Europa. So we go in Europa. That don't give you no boost. You want to play in the big league. You're going to the World Cup, which is already like, yeah, look, I'm going to show myself. And then what? I'm going to go and play Europa when I can go to a team and go for titles. And on top of that, go and play the Champions League for the first time ever in my life. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see what happens, man. But that is the situation with the midfielders. That's a situation we need to get Champions League. And every single report is coming out and saying that. Bruno Fernandes, like I just said, with him as well. There's talks about him. We get Champions League, he's staying. If we don't get Champions League, it's a myth. Man United qualify for Champions League football and present Bruno with a very interesting and ambitious project. There are good chances for him to stay. Fabrizio Romano. Champions League means everything. Remember that, guys. If we were to come out of the Champions League now, yes, we can still attract good players. We've done it with Cunha and Bumo and Sesko, of course. But they're players that wanted Man United because they supported us or they just had some bond with us. We need to be in a position that we can get any player we want. We want Yan Diamande, bro. We're in Champions League. The left wing spot's yours. What are you saying? Then it's on him to think about it. We can't be going there. Do you support Man United? No. Do you want to come? Are you in Champions League? No. They're closing the door in our face, bro. Like, as simple as that. So that's the situation with the midfielders, like it's come out and you've seen. So this has just come out just now, like I said, 409. Some more talks about Tonali. I don't know if we're top of the list. Remember, he offered himself to Arsenal, his agent. So he's trying to get out of there regardless. Anyone that's got European football, he could end up there potentially. So I think Arsenal's got too many midfielders at this time, to be honest. So I don't think Arsenal can even go for him unless they kind of sell someone. But who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see. But Tonali is definitely someone that I wouldn't mind. If he came to Man United, I wouldn't mind Tonali. I'll be real. But yeah, cool. We'll move on from that. Let's talk about the boy Iriola. I'm going to get this one, then I'm going to get a few of these chats. So make sure you lot are smashing the likes. Let me know what you're saying in the chats. I'm going to get them in a sec. Bournemouth will reopen contract talks with manager Iriola in the upcoming international break in an effort to ward off potential interest from Crystal Palace, Tottenham, and Man United. He's a target for Palace, and sources have indicated he has been discussed at both Spurs and Old Trafford, as well as for potential vacancies in Italy and Spain. It's mad how they put as well as Spurs and Old Trafford. They don't even, like, why do you put Spurs as ground then? But yeah, anyways, Iriola, I don't know, man. I don't think he's on the list anymore like that. I don't think they really rate him as much anymore. Iriola, Glasner, Marco Silva, that little swivel, it just faded away now. At first it was, yeah, he was the guy. I rate Iriola. I like his football. I like watching Bournemouth, that high-tempo football, but I just can't see them doing it, man, for some reason. He's just like, he went that 13 games without a win. Like, do you know what I'm saying? The one thing I rate him, though, he's never spazzed out or nothing. He ain't got himself in trouble. He's never came out here and said things in a press conference. He knows how to keep himself calm. And that's one thing that will go in his way, especially if clubs are looking at him for the long term. Like, yeah, because Glasner and Marco Silva, them man, they can't hold their mouth. Marco Silva's got red cards and like mad stuff. So I rate Iriola, but I think his stocks are kind of low. Bournemouth, they went on that mad, terrible run, 13 games without a win. And then, yeah, he's just like, kind of like, I don't know, man. They're not really doing so much more. I don't think we go for him. He would more suit a Tottenham, but then again, Tottenham they ain't got the players for any system at the moment right now. So who knows? So I don't know what will happen with him, man. But Bournemouth are going to try and reopen some contracts. But it was kind of said that Iriola, Marco Silva, and who's the other guy? Glasner are all going to leave. But remember, Marco Silva and Iriola, they haven't come out and said openly we're going to leave because they're waiting for the options. They don't want to be, they're trying to be smart with it. Like, let me see, who wants me? Does anyone want me out here? And then obviously, remember, all their contracts run out this summer. So Marco Silva, Iriola, and Glasner, their contracts all run out. Glasner's the only one that's publicly said, I'm leaving. And he's been trying to get himself sacked as much times as possible. But they're not having it. So they might sit there and then it gets to like April and it's like, yo, no one ain't coming in for me. No one ain't chatting to my agent. I don't know what's going to happen. And let me just sign a new contract so I'm safe. I've got some sort of job. So it might be a situation like that. But I don't think we're in for him. I think I've seen the little targets that we've been looking at. I'll show you look now. It seems like it's going to be either probably like a De Zerbi, Nagelsmann, etc. I don't think we go for someone like him. But then again, he has got Premier League proven. He does know the league, basically. Not proven, but he knows the league. Do you know what I'm saying? But remember, De Zerbi's a man of interest. He's keen on the Old Trafford job. We was in for him before when we sacked Ten Hag, and he kind of declined us to go to Marseille. But now he's unemployed. He is keen. He really wants the job. But he's another man that could just lose his head at any time. And I feel like, because Amrin got sacked like that, they're looking at this now and going, yeah, you know what? We're gonna watch ourselves now. You see, any of these managers that can't handle their head at these little clubs, no disrespect to Marseille, but you're at Marseille and you can't handle your head and you're losing 3-0, getting knocked out of the Champions League, offering to quit, having mad emergency meetings over there. I want to quit. And then they're having to hold you back and say, no, don't quit. And then you're saying, all right, you know what, I won't. 2 games later, no, I'm quitting. And then you quit. Like, you're too reactionary. I don't think that will get you the job. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's about how you move, innit? So these little things, I think they're pre in it now. Amrin, they never saw it with it. And when he first come, he's emotional. He's calm. He's just an emotional person. But now I feel like they're not even going to go down that route. Even when you saw Grimsby, when we lost that Grimsby and Amrin came out and started saying, these players have shown what they want. Like, it's the same sort of thing. We don't need that sort of energy. So Roberto De Zerbi's obviously on the list. He's keen on coming. Iriola, he's obviously still going to be on the list, but he'll probably be a little bit more down as he was before. Carrick could still stay, of course. There was these talks yesterday from the Athletic about Nagelsmann saying that, yo, Nagelsmann is the best candidate for the Man United managerial job. From the managers linked, Nagelsmann is seen as one of the strongest candidates due to his tactical flexibility and ability to adapt game to game. He's also relatively young, so you could be here for like 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? And he's dogs with what's his name? Vivell, Christopher Vivell. That's his proper friend. So just look at that. It goes without saying. It's so easy that they could just quickly get him like that. So we'll see what happens, man. Nagelsmann, De Zerbi, I reckon that's the 2. There's some talks about Poch. But I think Poch goes straight back to Spurs. Literally, that just seems like, unless they get relegated, Spurs, that seems like it's going to happen straight away. Let me just run through this and I'll get these chats. Let me just deal with this quickly. Obviously, Santos, I don't really rate this geezer. I don't know what you lot think about him. I don't really rate him like that. I think he's okay. We were linked with him when Maresca was there. When Maresca was there, he wasn't playing him at all. He went to on loan to Strasbourg. And that's where, what's his name? Rossinha was at Strasbourg playing him. So now that Rossinha's back at Chelsea, he's playing him every game. So this link, I feel like it's a myth anyway. It's not going to happen. 34 million pounds. I just can't see him coming in and taking anyone out of the 11. And that's what our transfers have been. Sesko came in, Hoyland, cheers. Lamens came in, Binde, Banana, cheers. Mbumo came in, Garnacho, cheers. You know what I'm trying to say? Cunha came in, Mason Mount, bench. This is what we've been doing. This is what they've been doing with the lineups. Everyone that's coming in is going to make us stronger, where you can arguably go into the lineup. So if Yan Diamande comes in and he's explosive, you're starting. Cunha, you might have to hold bench or whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? We go and get a left back or something. I'm expecting it to be players that start now. The midfielder, Casemiro's going. We're getting a midfielder that comes straight into the team. This is what we're looking at. So I just can't see us going to get Santos and he goes straight into the team. He seems like he'll be all right for depth, but he's not a guy that's going to take anybody out of the team. This is why I look at it and I think, what is the point of this article? It doesn't really make any sense. We've been linked with him a few times in the past, but like I said, the times that we've been linked with him is when Maresca wasn't rating him. Maresca had him sitting on the bench for ages. And look, this came out the other day on the 6th of March. Man United remain interested in Andre Santos. Chelsea hold all the cards. Blah, 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 blah. If Chelsea bring in another midfielder and Lavia stays fit, they would have a lot of midfielders. But it's not currently viewed as a market opportunity for the clubs. And this is when we got linked with him in October. So we've been linked with him for a minute. But like I said, he wasn't playing in October because Maresca was here. He's only started playing recently. So who knows what will happen, man. I'm going to get a few of these chats. So boom, let's kick it off now. I'm going to get the Osihmen stuff in a second as well. You know me, I don't do no clickbait whatsoever. Good evening, Mitch. Big up yourself, fun. So hope you're good. We need Belieber. Hey, Starker, you love Belieber, innit? That's your dog. Yes, Mitch. Hands up. Big up yourself, man. I knew he would win it. He would win it. Who would win it? Sesko. Yeah. He's got the fans player of the month or something like that. I knew Sesko would win the award. Yeah. Big him up. Van Disney. Van Disney was nominated. With Casemiro, Toby Collier, Ugarte, and Mount set to lead this summer, we will need 3 midfielders, an all-rounder, ball winner. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Osihmen, I will take Sesko, can learn from him, but we need Champions League. Champions League means everything. You lot have seen the thumbnail. It's there for a reason. It means everything, bro. An all-rounder, Anderson or Fernandez, a ball winner, Belieber, Gumi or Gomez, a deep playmaker, and Keys or Smith. I reckon we go for maybe 2 DMs because Ugarte is going to go. So maybe we get a Gumi and a Belieber. Do you know what I'm trying to say? The drop-off ain't too bad. That's what I reckon we do. We're going to get him. Bro, I'm going to get into the Osihmen stuff in a minute. Don't worry. It's crazy. Even his price is mad. Metric community, smash the likes, my peoples. Man United, man. Love, man. Big up yourself, man. We should have got Osihmen over Sesko or anyone else. If we get him now, it might be a big blow to the progress. Nah, I don't think it'll be a big blow. We need that depth anyway. Look at Man United back in the day, how much strikers we had. We had Solskjaer on the bench, Van Nistelrooy's, and we had Bier strikers at once. Rooney, Ronaldo's on the wing. That's how we need to go back to a mad depth. I know it's a bit different times where players get annoyed and all that, but come on, man. Pablo Barros or Mateus Fernandez in the place of Anderson. If you won't come and sign Belieber and Stiller, Belieber, Gumi or Gomez. I keep hearing about this Pablo Barros guy. I don't really know about him, man. He plays for Atletico Madrid. Maybe I'll see a bit about him today when he plays Tottenham, because that's when I'm going to be watching him. I don't really watch Atletico Madrid for nothing. So today, when the Champions League's on, I will be flicking around because Newcastle's playing Barca. But maybe then I'll see a little bit about him. But I've heard of him. I've seen his name a few times. A lot of people root for him, but I don't know him like that still. Maybe I'm late. Let me get the next one. What's that one there? Is there no modern type women any longer? We can put it across in the box rather than cutting and take a shot by themselves. Yeah, that's what Doku. That's what Yan Diamande will have to get trained on. Cut in, cross. Because we got Sesko in there. And that's what Mbuma was doing in the first couple of games. But remember, we started playing him as a 9 that came out of his game. Mbuma was killing us with that. He used to cut in, cross, cut in, cross. He done it against Burnley, done it against Fulham, second game of the season. I remember that. So we need to be on that. 100% though. I know what you're saying. We need more players like that. I need Belieber at Manchester United. It would be hard to lure Osihmen away from Galatasaray because how high they rate him plus the fans. And remember, he's got a mad salary, but I'm going to show you the Osihmen stuff in about 2 minutes. Don't watch nothing. But yeah, let's get into it. Let me show you what's come up. So this is what's come out now. Look at this. Look at the time on this. 5:05. I've just caught it. Yeah, you only get bombers like this here. 5:05. The boy Chris Wheel has come out with his thing where he talks about bare stuff. And what happens with this is, because I can't click onto the article because of copyright, in about 5 minutes, you see it all get aggregated. So whilst we're on, I'll keep bringing it to you, let you know exactly what's going on. So fans are anger over Old Trafford assault. Martinez set to miss Villa. Oh, he's Martinez. Oh, that's our Martinez, obviously. Lissandro. I thought that was their Martinez, the goalkeeper. The real cost of signing Sancho. Cop skipped. Maguire trial. Reds copyright clamped down. Kai follows in dad's footsteps. Yeah, that's Rooney. Kai Rooney. Woman goal for glory. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get all of that in a minute. It's going to be aggregated properly. And in the meantime, we'll get into some of the Osihmen stuff and all of that as well. Don't watch nothing. Yeah, so boom. So as you can see, look at this. Martinez is expected to miss Man United's game against Aston Villa after taking longer than initially hoped to recover from a calf strain. Bro, I don't know what's going on with this thing here. One sec. I don't know what's going on with this, with these injuries. All these injuries that we're getting, it's like no one is telling us what's really going on. No one knows. De Ligt, he's out for 1 week. He's out for 2 weeks. Bam, he went missing. De Ligt has been injured since Crystal Palace away. We just played Crystal Palace at home. Our second time playing Crystal Palace is when, bro, our first time playing Crystal Palace is when De Ligt got injured. Do you know how mad that is? And we got told he's only out for a few weeks. Him and Mason Mount. Mason Mount came back after 2 weeks. Bro, we still haven't seen De Ligt. I don't know what's going on, bro. I don't know what's going on. Look at that. 30th of November. This is the last time De Ligt played. And he's still not even close to coming back. Look at that. This is the last time De Ligt played a game for Manchester United. On the 30th of November. Sunday, the 30th of November at 12 o'clock. We haven't seen him again since. That's like 4 or 5 months ago, bro. We haven't seen him. We don't know nothing. We don't even know what's really going on with this injury or not. Is he really injured? What is it? A Malasia type? What is it? Man saying it's a back injury. Now it's Martinez. They came out. They said, yeah, he's going to be out for a week or two. It's not going to be nothing crazy. Bro, the man's been missing for about 3 weeks. Maybe longer than that. It's probably even longer than that now. This is what I'm saying. I don't understand what's happening, man. But all these players, they keep getting injured. And no one's telling us the truth. Nobody knows what's really going on. So I don't know, man. But we'll see. Hopefully we can build up. Because a lot of people have clocked. We're not really building up from the back how we used to do. Without De Ligt. It's a bit more mad now. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Cool. Let's get into some more news. So this is obviously some talks about Elliot Anderson. I'm getting bored and tired. See, Elliot Anderson and Diamande. I can't even be bothered to put them on the thumbnails no more. News comes out about them every day. It's been like that every day for about 5 months. So I try and talk about other things. You know what I'm saying? But Elliot Anderson is the first choice. Obviously, we spoke to Belieber last summer. We all know that we agreed personal terms. United have thought to also be looking at a left back who can take over from Luke Shaw. Because obviously Luke Shaw, we must want him to leave soon because we must be tired of him. You understand? Just have Dorgu and someone else that's going to sit there. Yeah, look, they're putting it out there again. Look, it's not too serious. The problem ain't too serious, but he suffered a reaction in training. Bro, I'm tired of this, man. I don't want to get into it. But yeah, Anderson, anyway, back to him. He's one of our top targets, but I think he's going to end up at Manchester City. I'll be real, because every single article that's come out that's been about either club has been he prefers Manchester City. Manchester City are confident. They will get him more than Man United. Manchester City, Manchester City. Everything about Anderson. Not one article has came out and said Man United, he prefers Man United over City. Man City are primed to step up their interest in Elliot Anderson and they believe he favours a move to them over Man United. Graham Bailey talking rubbish, saying that it's a deal done already with City several weeks ago. We don't know how true that is. I don't know. But every single link has came out and said, majority of them anyway, that talks about either club will say Manchester City. Man City are tracking them. He's liking their tweets. Look at that. He's sitting there liking the tweets of all the City players. Elliot Anderson, the prospect of playing under Man City. So I don't know what's going to happen, man. I'm not really getting too excited over Anderson. I don't really watch his comps or none of that no more. I just feel like he's a Man City player. I'll be real. You understand? People were saying, oh, he celebrated when he scored against them the other day. But, bro, everything. Look at this. 29th of December. I show you like this nearly every day. 29th of December, before the transfer window even opened. Whatever journalist they're listening to is a solidified journalist, because he said Semenyo, Guy, and Anderson, and they've already got 2 of them. They've already got Semenyo and Guy. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. So we move on from Anderson anyway. Like I said, I've stopped talking about him because it doesn't even make any sense. And where is thing? Where is that Sesko thing? Yeah, we move on from that and we call it a day. Obviously, Paul Scholes came out and basically just put this to bed. It was no way intended to be offensive towards Michael. He'd be the last person I want to offend. I messaged him and he told me he wasn't upset about it. Bro, guys, just stop talking, brother. You don't have to keep coming out here and having to tell us what he really meant, etc. Just shut up. It's simple as that, bro. Like, what is the point of keep coming out here and talking, and then before you know it, you're getting misconstrued, or no, you lot meant it a different way, bro. You come out and said what you said about Martinez. Martinez, obviously, came out and said what you said about Martinez. Martinez never got pocketed by Haaland. If anything, he pocketed Haaland. And you didn't want to take it back. You said, no, well, we still won't win the Prem with him. Like, I don't really rate him after that. Sesko, as you can see, player of the month for February, etc. And there's talks that he's won it, etc. So this is the fans one. Yeah, so it is what it is. Obviously, he's been doing what he needs to do. We'll move on from that. Bruno G, he's seen as an ideal replacement. I think Ben Jacobs came out the other day and spoke about Bruno Guimaraes as well. And basically said that it is true that what's his name? Casemiro put his name through and said, yeah, listen, he's the guy that should replace me. Remember, he's Brazilian as well. They've got a connection already. They're both in the Brazilian team. And this is it here. Look, Ben Jacobs. It is true that Casemiro has raised Bruno Guimaraes to Manchester United. If Guimaraes left Newcastle, he'll be perfectly fine with staying in the Premier League. There's more substance to the Tonali links. And Elliot Anderson is still the top target. So he's basically letting us know Bruno Guimaraes is a very loyal player, isn't it? He's loyal. Sees what he's tapping the badge, kissing it, whatever. But bro, if he can leave Newcastle, he wouldn't mind staying in the Prem. There's been links with him with City. There's been links with him with us. There've been links with him with Arsenal in the past, etc. So I don't know. But the thing with Bruno G, when you look at what Ineos do and the players they go for, he's 28. Like I said, I only think we got Mazarari was probably the oldest player we've bought since Ineos is here. And he was about 26 or something when he came. Or maybe 27. I can't remember. But I think it was Mazarari. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we don't go for players. Hold on. When signed Man United. Let me check this right now. We don't go for players at a certain age. They're a bit on a different thing. Signed for Manchester United on a 4-year deal. How old was he when he signed for Man United? I think he was 26. Yeah, so we don't go for players like that. See what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if they will do it at a 28. And when you look at what we're actually linked with, Anderson, he's like 23 or something. Belieber, 21s. Like, these guys are young. So even like Wharton, all of our links, all the players that we're linked with, do you know what I'm trying to say? Look, Mazarabi was 26 when we got him. So we haven't got one player. Even De Ligt was about 26 as well. We haven't got one player that's been around them ages. So I don't know what's going to happen, man. I don't know if we go for him. It might be Tonali. It could be Tonali. Obviously, it could be Anderson. We don't know. But it's good to see that we're in good. It's good to see what's going on, though. That we're in good hands. When you look at all of the players that we're linked with. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be linked with Bruno G. Even if we don't go and get him. But just that we're even looking at him and we're getting linked with him is good. Look at that. See, this is exactly what I said. Definitely much worse than the club are letting on. I don't know what we're trying to do. We're trying to say, you know what? We don't want to let it be known someone's got a mad ACL or something because when it comes to selling them or something, then, do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't know. But definitely much worse than the club are letting on, bro. Definitely. He's expected that. Because they always dim it down. Every time it happens, it's always just, it's minor. You'll be back for the Palace game. That's the reports that we had straight away. Yeah, Martinez will be back for Palace. Literally. When he got injured, they said, yeah, he'll be back. It's nothing. It's light. Don't worry about it. And then look now. Now this geezer is gone and we can't see it. Look at this. Look at this. Exactly what I just told you. Remember, I don't lie. Everything I say is stated somewhere. Lisandro Martinez injury is a minor problem and he may even be back in contention for Sunday's clash with Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Look at this. February the 24th. It's the 10th of February today and he's still out. These guys are getting injured and we're not getting told what it is. Same thing with Mason Mount. He was out. Minor. He was out for a minute. The Lit's been injured since 30th of November and he's still missing. I don't understand what's going on with him. And as you've seen, look, we just got some news that's just come out just now. Man United have been monitoring Elmas from Napoli. The 26-year-old is enjoying a strong season under Conte at Napoli, becoming one of the manager's trusted options despite being used in multiple roles due to injuries. So Elmas, that's a youth that we're looking at apparently. I don't know if he's a left winger. I've seen him before, obviously, when I've watched them like slightly, but I've never paid attention. What do you lot think about this Elmas guy? Do you think he's cold, etc.? Let's have a look what he's dealing with. Macedonia, what country from? 2028 is when his contract runs out. 26 years old. Two assists, 1 goal, 25 matches. So he's not really... Oh, he's on loan. Is he on loan from Leipzig? Back from loan. On loan from Leipzig. I don't know him, man. I don't know this geezer. I've seen him, but I haven't paid attention. That's what I'm trying to say. But, boy, look at that. Look how much positions he plays with. He's an attacking midfielder. He can play on the left. Play as a CM. But he's on loan from Leipzig. I don't know. But that's what's just come out. So I'm going to show it to you lot. Where we're monitoring him. Who knows? Is it a guy we put behind where Bruno Fernandes is as depth? Sell Mount, put Elmas there. Is it a guy that goes in as a left winger? I don't know. It seems that we want Yandi and Mande as our left winger, so I don't think that he will be a left winger situation, but we'll see. So cool. We move on from that. We talk about the boy Rashi. Gary Lineker came out and said basically that Man United should sell him. That would be the best thing for them to let him go to Barcelona, etc. But yeah, that's cool. But we've turned around and said, just give us the money, bro. Simple as that. You can go. I don't think anyone is stressing about Rashford leaving. There's not going to be no petition or nothing crazy, bro. It's just, yeah, just give us the money for him, and then it is where it is. And Andy Mitten came out and said, if Barcelona don't activate the 30 million euros buy option for Marcus Rashford when his loan deal ends, he'll be back to Man United with 1 year left. That's why it's so low, though. I think it makes sense now why it's so low. Because that 26 million already is a bump. It's already crazy when you think about it. 26 million for Rashford. But he's only got 1 year left. He's probably not going to re-sign. He loves it up there. He wants to stay there, etc. There'll be no renegotiation. United believe there'll be plenty of suitors after his strong season. So we're saying someone else will come and pay that 24 million, basically. Do you understand? But remember, he's on 300-something K. 350K or something like that. So we want him to go, but we're staying stern and saying, yo, he's had a good season over there. Give us our money and he's your player. It's simple as that. But we're not going to sit and be taken down as an idiot thing. This came out yesterday as well when it's just come out now. As you can see, 5:18. But this is Chris Wheeler speaking about basically all the academy channels on Twitter that will show us what JJ Gabriel and Shea Lacey and that we're keeping up with. They're taking them down. United are clamping them down. They keep breaching them. Using youth team matches footage from MUTV, United are taking a tougher stance on offenders, although sources say DMCA strikes are automatically triggered when excess footage is used. It's not a case of the club targeting specific accounts. Because basically there was an account yesterday that does a lot of this and everyone loves him because, bro, you show us what's going on. Without you, we don't know nothing that's happening. So it's one of the academy accounts and they're basically just they're saying they're going to shut it down, basically. So that's what's gone on, and everyone's kind of mad with it. Like, what? How else are we going to know what's going on with the academy? Because this is where man will see what's going on. I'll bring it to you. Like, say, look at this goal that JJ scored, or da-da-da-da-da. So they're kind of clamping down on it. They're saying, yo, we're not on that. Go to MUTV and watch anything about the academy if you want to watch it. All of this, trying to have your own little loopholes, your waste, you're taking money off our hands. Let's get into the boy Osihmen now. So look at this now. So we've had 2 reports that came out today about Osihmen. Ekwakoma is a weird geezer. This geezer He's so weird because he'll say something sometimes and it'll be over-exaggerated. Then he'll say something and then before you know it, give it 3 days later, Fabrizio will say it. And it'll be like, rah. So this guy is kind of reliable then. So he's hit and miss. But he's come out today and said, look at this, at 3:34 today, Man United are among clubs monitoring Osihmen. So I've gone and had a little deep search. Was there any more things about it? And there's an article speaking about it and his price. You understand? I don't think we go for him because of the price. I think the price is a bit too hefty. But remember, he's on 300-something K anyway. This is the reason why we turned around and we said we don't want him anyway. It's because he's on 300K. So, yeah, this is the article, boom, boom, and it's basically just saying, let me try and make it as big as possible. Yeah, there we go. Man United approach of taking expensive gambles on young strikers with high potential, underwhelming, blah, blah, blah. And it just basically goes on to talk about that. We spent money on Osihmen, Zirkzee, Sesko. It adds up to about 200 million euros. So, yeah, just some talks about Osihmen basically. And then it says, bro, my man is 130 million euros. I don't think anyone is paying that. I'll be real. 130 million euros is what they want for Osihmen. Apparently, they've set that. This is what's going on. Galatasaray desires to keep their talisman. He scored 55 goals in 67 appearances for them. I hope he's playing in a minute against Liverpool's playing at 5:45. Galatasaray are playing Liverpool. I hope he's in the lineup. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's in the lineup. So man's going to give him a little watch there and see what he's keeping up with. But yeah, bro. So I don't know, man. I don't really go off these all of these articles until we solidify people anyway. But bro, it is what it is. It's an article there. We were linked with him, but he wanted 300K. We said no. He signed a new contract, and now apparently they want. Look at that. However, the Super League Giants are demanding a fee in the region of 130 million euros. What the fuck? 130 million euros is what they want for Osihmen. And when you go on Ekokoma's thing, he's basically saying the same thing. Look at this. Premier League move could be on the horizon. Galatasaray reportedly set 130 million euros price tag as Bayern Munich, Arsenal, and Man United circle. Arsenal ain't going to go from, they got 3 strikers, Havertz, Gyökeres, and Jesus. Unless they sell Jesus, and then it's going to be too messy anyway, where you got Havertz unhappy, he's not playing as much. Gyökeres is on the bench. You wouldn't know who to go for. Osihmen, Bayern Munich, maybe. You never know, because remember, Harry Kane might be coming to the end of his time. And us, I can only think, because obviously Zirkzee's leaving. I can only think of that. Like, Zirkzee's leaving, we go and get someone that's going to compete with Sesko. So it's Osihmen, and then if it's not working, you put Sesko on or whatever way round. Do you know what I'm saying? Sesko's got time. And one thing about our fan base we hate is depth. No one can understand it. Oh, why is that? And Ahmad has to start. Oh, Sesko's. Bro, we need to get ready and get used to it, bro. This is what happens now. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, as a big club, you will have depth. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? So I don't know what's going on, man. We'll see what happens. But that's what my man's saying. Look at that. Galatasaray reportedly set 130 million price tag as Bayern, Arsenal, and Manchester United circle. I can't see us going and paying 300K for him. That wouldn't make any sense. Yes, bro, what's happening? Hassi, big up yourself, man. I hope you're good, broski. Where did Osihmen links come from? I can't see that happening. I don't know. I can't see 130 million euros either. But Ekokoma is weird, man. He says things that come true, and then he says things that are just like wild as well. So you just never know. You know when someone lies to you, but they tell the truth sometimes. So you don't know if they're lying or not, because they actually tell the truth sometimes. Osihmen wage is high. Yeah, he's on 300-something K. How long is Shaw's contract? I'm so sure. Is it a contract year? Because everyone was saying he's playing good because it's contract year. Look, 2027. So summer, we got a year left. I think they're going to let him go for free, you know. I think they let Shaw leave for free, to be honest with you. I think they're tired of him as much as we are. Don't want to buy overhyped English players no more. Mainly is better than Anderson. I don't know about that. Osihmen links are as true as Anderson saying he only wants United. Yeah. Anderson, the flavour of the month. Neddy. Who's Neddy? Paul selling. Yeah, he's lost himself, Sam, man. He's lost himself. He's doing it for his podcast. Exactly. Like, he's a joke, man. And you would think a footballer, why would you need to do that? But remember, they live a mad life. You know, when you get used to a certain life, that's all you want to do now is keep up with that life there. So I get it. He said he was hacked. Exactly. Bring me Tonali. 100 million gets Tonali. Now, Tonali's going for 90 million. But that's from the article that's just came out a minute ago. That Tonali is going for 90 million now, which is here. Look at this. 90 million is what will cost. And I think that's too much. I think that's way too much, bro, for Tonali. 90 million. I forgot about the lit. This is what I'm saying. Man, we're not even thinking about these players anymore. Never trust these Italian sources except Fabrizio. The only one that I solidified is Matteo Moretto. And he works with Fabrizio Romano, to be honest. United need to relax with these accounts. Only reason I know some academy boarders. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I watched them and they showed me what's going on. I see some of the goals. I would never know when an under 18s or under 21 Man United game is going on. I would never know. But you come on Twitter, oh, Man United have scored. Here's JJ Gabriel's goal. Bro, they're blocking all of them, bro. It doesn't make any sense. No one is believing this Rio is putting pressure. Ineos ain't doing anything like this on their way structure. Oh, hell. Don't need Osihmen. We can get Welbeck for cheap. Also accept to be a backup striker. Just get Krupi on my shot there. Krupi's a baller. But they want about 90 million for him as well. 90 million for everyone else, more for United. How they haven't forgotten about the summer window humiliation. Yeah. You know that, bro, you know what happened with them? They rested all their players for the Man City game. So they played everyone against us, and then they rested all their players for the Man City game. That's how you know we are really their cup final. It's crazy. Look at this. Look. They rested all their players. Anthony Gordon, Dan Burn, and Joe Linton, all in full training after being rested against Man City in the FA Cup, which could have got you Europa if you won it anyway. You said, you know what? We can get Europa. We can't get no Europa through the league. We're 12th. Maybe not. We could probably get if we win the FA Cup, but nah. We've had our cup final on Wednesday, wherever we played them. Let's rest the players. I don't know what they're on. They're different. But yeah, man, so that's the situation with my man anyway. Osihmen. 130 million is what they're saying. He's on a 300k. I don't think we go for him. I think it's just put Man United in it. You're going to get some clicks. You know how it usually goes. It's just simple as that. Put Man United in the title, you'll get clicks. The aggregate pages are going to clip it up. Then I'm going to come and talk about it. And everyone else is going to talk about it. It's going to be on everyone's thumbnails. And then some people are going to click onto the link. And then you're going to see what's really going on. So that's the situation with Osihmen. But I don't think we go for him, to be honest. The main decision makers are satisfied with Carrick's job. But the club insists that they're not going to rush into a decision. So we're not going to turn around. No one ain't going to be reactionary. So he lost the other day against 10 men. A little man was going crazy. Sack him now. He's not good enough. Blah, blah, blah. It's all over the place. So they're not going to be as reactionary. So the main decision makers are, that's Jason Wilcox. That's Omar Barada. And you can see, even when he was winning all the games, I think someone came out and said they didn't even want him to be doing this good. They never expected him to do this good because it's giving them a mad decision where they have to kind of keep him now. If he goes and he goes unbeaten, it's like you can go and get someone and then they start doing worse. You look like an idiot. But Carrick, I reckon he gets a job regardless. You know how you got Fulham, they're losing Marco Silva. You've got Iriola that there's talks he's going to leave or whatnot. And then you got Marco Silva. You got Glasner. All three of them's contracts up. I reckon Carrick gets a job regardless. I don't think he's got anything to worry about. So it's calm anyway. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. A lot of people want him to stay. A lot of people don't. He speaks about he speaks a little bit about Fulham. This is the weirdest fucking press conference I've ever seen because it's like he's standing up and he's speaking about them, which I'm going to show you in a second. Look at that. Morgan Gibbs-White. He gets asked on Sky about the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo. What he's done for the game is obviously incredible. I'll possibly say he's the best player to ever grace football. So obviously everyone's going to take that and say, yo, look, Man United. Like, bro, I don't really rate Morgan Gibbs-White as well. I don't think he's all that, to be honest with you. But yeah, where is this thing, man, from Carrick? Carrick basically has come out and he's said some stuff about Villa, which obviously you can call it basically a presser, but it's weird because he's look at that. He's basically talking in the dark, bruv. It's crazy. But he's basically said Carrick on how the squad is going to respond to the Newcastle loss. Yeah, good. I think there's an understanding of what we can do a little bit better in certain areas. We can improve, which is really good. But it's coming off the back of good performances and a really good group of results as well. It's just putting things in balance, blah, blah, blah. We want to see a reaction. And bro, Villa have not beat us at Old Trafford, by the way, since 2009. Yeah, I want you lot to understand that. 2009, is the last time we lost to Villa at Old Trafford. Yeah, last time we peppered them the first half. We couldn't score a goal, and then they switched it on us. They scored a goal, and we kind of had the ref on our side for that one there. When Bayern there was doing stupidness, and then Morgan Rogers tapped it in. But bro, Aston Villa have not beat us at Old Trafford since 2009. Do you know how mad that is? And I know this is the year that so much stuff's happened. Everton ain't beat us at Old Trafford for 25 years. They beat us with 10 men. We ain't won at the Emirates for years, and then we went over there and won, etc. But if you look at the head-to-head, look at that, 19 wins to 3. And if you look at it, look at that. Look, the last time they beat us, obviously, was this season when Morgan got Rogers the Screamers. But look at Old Trafford alone. Just look at Man United on the left side, yeah? And look at the last time that Aston Villa got a W on the left side. Look at this. We keep going. Nothing. On the left side. They beat us in a cup game. There was a cup game. I think they beat us 1-0. But look at that. We can't even, it ain't even on here. I can't even skip. It's that long ago. I can't even skip down and show you lot. Look, 2010 is the last it's showing me. It's not even showing me 2009. So if you just saw this, you would say Aston Villa's never beat us. So, bro, we better go out there and do something, man. Just make something happen. Home, yeah, this is better. Home. Is it going to show us? No, it goes to 2011. Crazy. So that's Carrick just speaking about the squad. He speaks a little bit later. He said a few other things. Carrick on Villa, it's an important game. It's one we're looking forward to. You know, the manoeuvred ourselves. It's such a good position now. Positive couple of months we want to build on. We're coming off the back of a losing game, but it happened. We've seen pretty much everyone over recent weeks has lost. Blah, blah, blah. This is the weirdest press conference ever, though. It looks so dark. It's crazy. Like, what are you doing there? But yeah, that's more or less the notes on that. But let me just summarize what's gone on for whoever's just come in the chat. As you can see, some Osihmen chat, 130 million euros, us, Arsenal and Bayern. I don't know how true that is. We're linked with this geezer, Elmas. Obviously, he plays for Napoli. I ain't really watched him too much, so I don't know what he's keeping up with. Lissandro Martinez, they said his injury weren't that bad. It's calm. He'll make the Crystal Palace game. Bro, we've played about, what? How much games have we played since then? 2 games? No, a game Tottenham, and then we had to sit down for a week. Not Tottenham. Who did we play last again? Newcastle, sorry. Newcastle. And yeah, bro, look at this. It's not serious, but he's still out. I don't know what's going on. Tonali, £90 million. He's on our list. He offered himself to Arsenal. Is Arsenal going to go for him? It seems like he wants Europe, though. It seems it's a European thing. And this is why you can see on the thumbnail, Champions League means everything. Literally, everything I'm going to show you now, Champions League means everything. Without Champions League, majority of these players we're linked with, some of our players, Bruno Fernandes and all that, it's all looking mad. Even the managers we can attract is a bit mad. There's talks about Bruno Guimaraes, the ideal replacement for Casemiro. Obviously, he's been put forward by Casemiro himself. Ben Jacobs came out and said it and verified it. That Casemiro gave him the green light and said, yo, sign him. He's the younger version of me. Blah, blah, blah. But he's 28. Ineos, the highest age that they've signed is a player that's 26, which was Mazarawi. So I don't know if we go for that. This is some talks about Osihmen again. Iriola, Bournemouth are going to try to offer him a new contract. Remember, he hasn't came out like Glasner and said he's 100% leaving. But his contract's running out. Him, Marco Silva and Glasner. But he's the only one, Glasner, that's come out and said, I'm 100% leaving, because we all might say, nah, we don't want you, and then he has to stay there. You know what I'm saying? He better have having a job than not. Rashford, there's talks that they're going to trigger that 30 million euros. We just got to wait. No, I don't even like talking about this guy. Travs on Sport don't want him. They're tired of him, and we might have to take an L. But to avoid a loss, we have to sell him for about 20 to 25 million for the PSR stuff. So this is just going to get techie, because he ain't coming back to United. No one wants him. Man United expect to have a huge summer by the boy Fabrizio himself. And we are obsessed with this Yan Diamande guy. Obviously, him and Ahmad, they got these little cryptic posts. They always do YD and AD, Ivory Coast. They're both on the wing. So maybe we've got the leverage because of that. There's talk that his dad was a Liverpool fan. Maybe over there. I don't know. But it's out of us and Liverpool. PSG might be in the race as well. Who knows? We'll see. Scholes, I don't want to give him no airplay. He's an idiot. Agumi, the interest is real. And obviously, Athletic came out yesterday and spoke about it as well and said, yeah, Man United are looking at Agumi and Belieber. So it's real, as you can see from here. Look, Man United are looking at him. That's the Athletic. Laurie Whitwell, Ornstein, that crew solidified. When they speak, you better listen. You know what I'm saying? Bruno Fernandes, another thing about the thumbnail. Champions League means everything. You can see that. Unless if we qualify for Champions League, present Bruno a good project. There's talks about offering 400k. I don't know how true that is, but he will stay. I reckon if we don't get Champions League, it's done. Because some of these players will look at it and say, what? I've got to do a year of suffering again and then hopefully get Champions League and then try and win something. They're not going to be on that. And I don't really blame him, to be honest. What else? There's that. Obviously, there's some talks about Nagelsmann. He's the best when you look at the rest, because Tuchel was up there. He was our #1 choice. He signed a new contract. Ancelotti, he signed with Brazil. Nagelsmann's the only guy left. When you look at it, who else? It's Nagelsmann or De Zerbi. It's literally one of the two. And I think De Zerbi's kind of done himself because he's being too dramatic in the press conferences. He's threatening to quit every minute, but he is also keen, as you can see from that. So we'll see, my peoples, man. Let me get a few more of these comments before we call it a day. But I'll leave it on the Osihmen thing, because I know some people are coming in there probably thinking, yo, is this guy clickbaiting or something? You know, man, don't do none of that. So there's some talks about Osihmen. Zirkzee's defo going to leave in the summer. So we'll see what happens. But Krupi is definitely a baller, and it's definitely someone that I rate. But I don't think we can get him for 50 million. They're going to want some mad peas. That's what Bournemouth's about. Bournemouth are known to come out here and just grab your money. Even that Rayan geezer, we were linked with him. They said 80 million for Man United. 80 million for Man United, and then straight away he ended up going for 30 million. This is what I'm trying to say to you. And I think that was Ekrakoma as well that said that. Let me see. Was it Ekrakoma that came out and said that? Edu. Yeah, look, let me show you. Look, this is me just trying to show you something. Look at this. This is what happens when you're Manchester United. Watch this. Look at this. Man United is closely monitoring Rayan's situation. 80 million. Man United are around. 80 million euros what we want, bro. A transfer seems unlikely unless you give us 80 million. That's what they wanted. 70 million pounds. That's what they wanted when Man United was in town making. And this guy's tier 1 when it comes to Argentinian, South American news. Yeah? And then look at that. Bam. Bournemouth have made an inquiry and then they ended up signing him for 35 million euros. You see how crazy it is? But Man United come around, it's 80 million pounds. So this is what happens. And then Bournemouth will try to flip him now for 70 million now. Easy. We come in now for him, they'll want 70 million. This is what happens. And it just continues to happen. It is what it is, though. We're kind of used to it. So it is what it is. Who would accept to be a backup striker? Yeah, Osihmen wouldn't. But Osihmen might be the #1 and then Sesko. I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? 90 million for everyone else, more for United. How they forgot about, yeah. They bought him for 55, so 70, 75 would be seasonable. Who's that? Who are you talking about, Blacks? 55, 70. Krupi, you talking about Krupi? Big up yourself as well, Blacks. They better get Diamande or Barcola, could care less about others. Can't go be going down 3rd or 4th option. Yeah, it's true. But it seems like the 3rd and 4th option worked out for us this year that we missed out on Champions League. Because we would have probably got a Delap or a Gyökeres or something mad. But it's crazy. Yeah, see? Delap, it would have been mad. 90 million for Krupi is crazy. If Carrick's good against low blocks, I would love him to continue. Yeah, but that's where we're kind of sitting there and we're struggling, which is a bit mad. I'll be real. Brighton could sack their manager, so it would be great club. Yeah, for real. Something like Brighton as well. But I don't know if Carrick's a tactician like that, though. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You know, like Brighton, they like these guys that overcomplicate it a bit. Like De Zerbi, Graham Potter. You know, the guys that do the little tick-a-tack-up. To be honest, we did try a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? Cunha Bruno. We did try a little 1s and 2s when we played the big teams. But I don't know if he would against little teams when you're having to, I don't know. It's true. They could. I stopped looking at stats. We also bring off track teams back on track. It's true. That's what we done with Thing the other day, Newcastle. They were saying, we're going to get smashed. We haven't won a game in ages. We brought them back to life. Jokers. Diamande with Sesko or nah. Diamande came this season. This is what I'm saying. 3-4 months ago, no one even knew who Diamande was. That's what's crazy about it. And now they want 100 million for him. It's crazy. So 1 year, they're making a huge profit. That's what they do. So some of these clubs, this is why I want us to do some of that. Make a little 1 signing or 2 and bank it. The only guy we've kind of done that with is Dorgu. 24 million, and all right, we're either going to flip it as in he stays and we're happy with that, or you could still sell him for around the same price. We don't really take them chances. But that's all the news, my people, man. I'll be here, my 10-minute update, of course. Don't watch nothing. So make sure whatever comes out from now all the way to 9 o'clock will definitely be in that 10-minute update. Smash the likes if you haven't already, man. Subscribe if you're new. We're always here. Done now, my peoples. Love.
Some celebs pull up loco. You know we are next, pull up mobos. They don't be there on repeat, they're like, oh no. Where's the mix it up, let's take a photo now. But for now, I'm loco. But for now, preserve the beat, I'm more loud. I said I'm more loud, I'm more loud. Can't touch